You are listening to Standards in 10 Minutes from The Standard Show, the podcast that brings you the stories behind the standards.
Hello, my name is Matthew Childs.
And I'm Cindy Parakill.
And this Standard in 10 Minutes is ISO 14001 Environmental Management Systems. Here are 10 things you need to know.
Number 1. What the standard is all about.
ISO 14001 is the international standard for environmental management systems. It provides organisations with a structured and repeatable framework for managing environmental responsibilities. Rather than setting fixed performance targets, it defines how an environmental management system, or EMS, should be designed and operated, ensuring continual improvement over time. By embedding this system-wide approach, organisations can consistently identify and manage environmental risks, meet compliance obligations, and improve performance. It also supports better decision-making across operations and supply chains, helping reduce environmental impact while strengthening resilience. Ultimately, ISO 14001 enables organisations to demonstrate leadership in sustainability and integrate environmental thinking into everyday business practice. Number 2. Why the standard was developed.
Environmental management standards emerged in response to growing concern about the environmental impacts of industrial activity in the late 20th century. In 1992, BSI developed BS 7750, one of the first environmental management system standards, which went on to shape ISO 14001, first published in 1996. This established a global framework for organizations to manage environmental responsibilities in a structured and consistent way. Since then, ISO 14001 has become the leading international EMS standard, with hundreds of thousands of organizations certified worldwide. Number 3. Who the standard is for.
ISO 14001 is designed for any organisation, regardless of size, sector or purpose, whether private, public or not-for-profit, that wants to manage environmental responsibilities more effectively. It is especially useful for those directly involved in environmental performance and operational delivery. This includes environmental and EMS managers, health, safety and environment professionals, and teams working in operations, production, facilities and maintenance. It is also highly relevant for procurement and supply chain professionals, as well as utilities, regulators, NGOs and contractors. In short, it supports anyone responsible for environmental compliance, risk management or reporting, helping embed consistent environmental management across the organisation. Number 4. What's changed?
ISO 14001-2026 is the latest edition of the standard. The revision strengthens and clarifies how organizations apply environmental management systems in practice. A key addition is a new clause on change management, supporting more proactive, risk-based decision-making and better alignment with other management system standards. There is also expanded guidance on externally provided products, services, and processes, reflecting today's complex supply chains. Internal audits and management reviews are made clearer, while improvement requirements are streamlined to reduce duplication. And the structure has been refined for easier use, with greater emphasis on leadership, culture, life cycle thinking, and effective management of risks and opportunities. Number 5. What's in the standard?
ISO 14001-2026 sets out the requirements for establishing, implementing, maintaining and continually improving an environmental management system. The standard covers key areas including organisational context, leadership, planning, support, operations, performance evaluation and improvement. It requires organisations to identify environmental aspects and impacts, understand compliance obligations, assess risks and opportunities, set objectives and monitor performance. The standard also includes requirements relating to life cycle thinking, emergency preparedness, internal audits, management review and continual improvement. Together, these elements provide that structured framework for managing environmental performance across an organisation. Number 6. How organisations use the standard.
Organizations use ISO 14001:2026 to embed environmental management into day-to-day operations and strategic decision-making. In practice, this can involve identifying significant environmental impacts, setting objectives and targets, monitoring performance, engaging suppliers, improving resource efficiency, and strengthening compliance processes. Many organizations use the standard to support sustainability strategies and demonstrate accountability to customers, regulators, investors, and other stakeholders. The framework can be applied across sites, functions, and supply chains, helping organizations respond to challenges such as climate change, biodiversity loss, and resource scarcity while driving continual improvement over time. Number 7. Benefits of using the standard.
Organisations adopting ISO 14001 typically see a wide range of benefits. First, it improves environmental performance by reducing waste, emissions, resource use, and overall environmental risk. It also strengthens compliance and governance, helping align with legal requirements and wider ESG expectations. Many organisations achieve cost savings and greater operational efficiency through better control of environmental impacts. The standard can also provide a competitive advantage, supporting bids, strengthening reputation, and building investor and supply chain confidence. In addition, it embeds sustainability into leadership, culture, and day-to-day behaviour. Finally, the 2026 version helps future-proof organisations by aligning with modern management system approaches and supporting easier integration. Number 8. How the standard works alongside other standards.
ISO 14001 follows the harmonized structure used across modern ISO management system standards, making it consistent with ISO 9001 for quality and ISO 45001 for health and safety. This shared structure makes integration between systems simpler and more efficient. Alongside this, ISO 14002 series provides practical sector-specific guidance that supports implementation of ISO 14001. While ISO 14001 sets out what an environmental management system must achieve, ISO 14002 explains how to apply it in real-world contexts. Number 9. Beyond the obvious environmental impact.
One often overlooked aspect of ISO 14001 is how far beyond traditional environmental activities it can reach. Because it is a management system standard, organisations apply it not only to obvious areas like energy use, but also to digital operations, workplace habits, and everyday decision-making. This can include reducing unnecessary data storage, streamlining cloud services, rethinking remote working practices, or cutting the environmental impact of routine communications. Rather than focusing only on visible sustainability actions, ISO 14001 encourages organisations to identify hidden impacts across operations and supply chains. In doing so, it reshapes behaviours, making environmental thinking part of everyday organisational culture and decision-making. Number 10. The people involved in developing the standard.
ISO 14001 is developed by ISO Technical Committee 207, the international committee responsible for environmental management standards. The committee brings together experts from industry, government, academia, certification bodies, and environmental organizations to create globally recognized requirements and guidance. The committee continues to review and update ISO 14001 to ensure it remains relevant to evolving environmental challenges, emerging technologies, regulatory expectations, and global priorities such as climate change, biodiversity, and resource efficiency.
So there you have it, a standard in 10 minutes, ISO 14001, Environmental Management Systems.
You have been listening to Standards in 10 Minutes from The Standard Show, the podcast that brings you the stories behind the standards.
You just heard a stripped media production.